this drawing, we're going to be using the lines that we've practiced in the last few lessons, along with a new element of art. We're going to be practicing using some shapes, and we're going to combine the two to make a picture of a house. Now, when you're drawing this, you could draw your home or a dream home or just a home you're imagining thinking up. Um, but let's go ahead and get started. And the first shape we're going to use is a rectangle. And to me, I think I've mentioned it before, but a rectangle is pointy on the corners. And to me, it's important to um, stop every time you change directions to get a good point. So I'm going to start here, down, stop, over, stop, up, stop, over, stop. And there I've got a nice pointy rectangle. All right, now to make the roof, we can make a triangle shape, but actually I think I'm going to make something a little different. I'm going to go up, over, down. Now, if that's a little complicated for you, you can make it pointy at top. That's fine. So I've got the roof, got the house. Let's make a front door. Every house has to have a door or else you can't get in. So I'm going to make another rectangle. Down, over, up, over. Okay, and let's put some windows. And I'm going to make my house like it's a two-story house. So it's got an upstairs and a downstairs. So I'll put some windows up here, which down, over, up, over. Get a square. Do the same thing over here. And then we're going to make this one square into 4 squares, but it's going to be really easy. We're just going to go to the middle and go down and over, down and over. And let's put some windows down here. They're going to be kind of like the door. I'm going to make them rectangles instead of squares like up top. Do the same thing over here. Down, stop, up, over. And I'm going to make them a different kind of window. They're just going to have a line across the middle. So we've made lots of rectangles so far. Let's make another rectangle. I want this house to have a chimney. So this is going to be part of a rectangle, not a whole rectangle. I'm going to go up to somewhere on the roof and go up, over, down. And you see how I didn't get to draw the whole rectangle. I ran into that line. That's perfect. That's exactly what we need to do. So we've drawn rectangles and squares. Now let's move on to a more complex shape, a circle. And circles can be really tricky. Let me show you some examples. I'm going to move my drawing. We'll get back to it in just a moment. But a lot of times I have students get really frustrated with circles because they end up kind of flat or something like that. Now, my thought is a key to a good circle is making sure that your whole hand can move. Because if you put your hand like this and you only move your fingers, you can make a good circle most of the way around, but then you can't make the other part. So you have to be able to move your whole hand. And so I like to just keep everything loose. Make sure you're sitting up really well. And if you want to practice on the back of your paper or on a scrap piece of paper, you can practice making circles. Make sure you can move your whole arm, your whole wrist, your whole hand to make that circle. If you put your head down or something really close to the paper, it won't help either. So you need to just make sure that you're sitting straight up and you can move your whole arm. So let's go ahead and put some circles here. First circle, I'm going to put a circle window right here. There we go. And I'm going to put a little circle doorknob right here. And if you want to, you can put the moon or the sun in your picture somewhere up here. A lot of times we put the sun in the corner of our picture. I think there's no corners in the sky, so you don't have to put your sun there, and you don't have to put your sun in the corner just because everybody else has done it. So I'm going to just put a circle somewhere around here. There we go. There's my sun. So this is looking really nice. It's a really nice house. I think it's time to add some different types of line. So we're going to go back to what we were practicing last week with different types of lines. And I'm going to do a bumpy line. I'm going to make my bumpy line go all the way across. And I'm going to keep doing that. And then I'm going to do some straight lines across my paper. Oops. And turn a mistake into something great. I'm going to make it look like the door is open. You don't have to do that. I just made a mistake and accidentally drew over my door. So now I got the siding of my house done. Let me show you, if you feel like that was tricky, if that was enough drawing for you, or if you're still working on it, you can stop there and just add some color when you're done. Or if you want to challenge yourself a little more, you can keep drawing with me. So this is maybe for a first grader or maybe a second grader can add these kind of things. We're going to make a walkway to the door. Okay? And if you draw it just straight down, it doesn't give you a sense of space. So what we're going to do instead is go to the corner of the door and we're going to draw a diagonal line this way. Okay? And I'm going to go to the other corner of the door and draw a diagonal line this way. And you can see it looks like it's coming toward us. That's because when we're thinking about a sense of space, things that go further away from us, the further away they get, the smaller they get, or the smaller they appear. Now I'm going to use some horizontal lines, so sideways lines, just like this. I'm going to make the cracks in the sidewalk, or the seams of the sidewalk. There's a couple there. And now it looks like our house is just kind of floating in space. We need to give it a horizon line. And that's something that some of my students are familiar with. But the horizon line is that line way out in the distance, where the sun would either go down or come up. It's where you stop seeing the ground and you start to see the sky. And the horizon line can be straight, it can be bumpy, there can be multiple lines in the horizon line. Around here in the mountains, a lot of times it's made up of a few lines where there's mountains kind of layered behind other mountains. I'm going to put some mountains in mine. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go behind the house. There we go. Then maybe I will do another line just like that. And just like that. You can do your horizon line however you want. It could just be a straight line if you wanted. Okay, now if we want to add some clouds, we can do that. This is kind of like a bumpy line that's got lots of variation to it. So I'm gonna, and then I just kind of continue that bumpy line back to the beginning. So then I've got just a bumpy shape. Don't overthink your clouds, because clouds are ever changing in all different shapes, so you can't really go wrong with your cloud. Okay, and now I might add some bumpy lines if I'm going to make a little bit of a smoke coming out of my chimney. And let's try some zigzag lines in the grass here. And if you really want to get detailed with it, let the zigzag lines get smaller as they go towards the horizon. All right. So now I think it's time to add some color. Um, you can color it however you want with markers, crayons, colored pencils. You could watercolor this one if you have some thicker paper. Um, just however you want. We haven't talked a lot about color yet, so you just experiment and just give it a shot. One thing to keep in mind as you're coloring, the sky doesn't have to be blue. The grass doesn't have to be green. You're the artist, so you can color it however you would like. All right. I look forward to seeing what you've made, and thank you for drawing with me.